Pickaxe.
Hey boys.
Hello.
It's a big
Right, Michael.
It's a big week in the stage world by the sounds of things.
Mm-hmm.
Not only am I the owner of a Brian Butterfield ticket, it sounds like you two are now too.
Yes, we are.
What?
Excellent news. He's coming northeast.
Brian
Northeast.
Butterfield is going up the Toon.
Mm-hmm. He
It's
is.
very exciting. You said that you spotted this a couple of days ago, Peter.
I did, and then I thought I must share this with my dear friend, but I think it was really late at night. He did a tweet saying there are still a few seats left in Whitley Bay. And I was like, what?
What?
Whitley Bay? And
Hang on.
I was like, this is very important news, but it was really late at night, and I was like, right, in the morning, I'll tell everyone about that. And then I don't know how I forgot, because, I mean, it's one of the greatest bits of news I've ever read on Twitter, but the next day it completely slipped my mind, and then it had, like, just gone from my head. And then today, fortunately, they've been doing more of a push, and he's been on Radio Newcastle with our colleague Tom Campbell, who works at the offices with me and Ben, and a bunch of us are now going to go and see him in Whitley Bay. Thank goodness that he spoke to Tom about it. Otherwise,
Tom had a
Peter,
word.
as Podiots viewers and listeners are my witness, it's never too late in the day to message me about Brian Butterfield.
Well,
news.
yeah,
you can,
I know.
You can always do it, come rain or shine.
Yeah, I probably should have done.
Light up the
right.
butter beacon. You know, I'll come running. I don't care.
Yeah.
But I hadn't heard about it until today, the time of recording, when Tom put his interview with Brian Butterfield into our work chat. At which point I saw it and was like, "Well, hang on a fucking minute." I imagine I had the same reaction you did, Peter.
Yeah.
Whitley Bay.
Yeah.
I thought he was only coming to Leeds and then he was going to Scotland. I was like, well, I'm not going to fucking Leeds to see Brian Butterfield. That's too on a Wednesday. You know, I'm not doing that. But no, he's going to be like 20 minutes up the road. It's perfect. Absolutely. Fucking perfect.
Beautiful.
So I'm so excited. And now, I don't want to promise anything, Peter Austin.
Yeah.
But I spoke to Tom about it.
Right.
And Brian Butterfield.
Yes, Brian Butterfield.
Real
Brian
man.
Butterfield, the man, the business entrepreneur, said to Tom Campbell that if you're coming to the show, come and say hi.
Right.
Tom is going to the show, and I sent Tom a message. I'll read it to you now.
Oh my
because
God.
I want this documented. And now I don't want to get our hopes up. I don't want to get my hopes up. And I feel like by saying this, I'm getting my hopes up.
You're getting the listeners' hopes up as well.
Yeah.
Getting the listeners' hopes up. Well, I don't know that the listeners are going to get anything out of this, but certainly we hopefully will. I said, Tom, is there honestly a remote chance I could meet Brian for a photo? I just don't want to get my hopes up. And Tom said, I genuinely think so. Brian's words to me were, if you're coming to the show, come and say hi. So I plan to take him up on it.
Right. Okay. I mean, I've seen people, I don't know if you have to get like a special premium ticket like we did with Dick and Dom, but I've seen people posting photos on Twitter.
Have you? With Brian?
With Brian, and you stand next to him and he gives you a certificate in business, like a little diploma. And you
Oh my
stand there
God.
and have your photo
Holy
with him.
shit.
But I suspect that's some sort of premium ticket or something.
I couldn't see that as a ticket option, so that's either sold out or I don't know if he remembers Tom from the BBC.
Yeah.
And then there are 4 of us stood behind Tom saying, "Oh, can we also say hello too, please?" It may not work, but I'm just saying there's a small chance that we could meet Brian.
Very exciting.
And that is very exciting. So
we are slowly, I mean, it's a good business to be in, this sort of Vidiots, Podiots, triple jump world where we're slowly ticking off all of our slightly weird offbeat comedy heroes bit by bit.
Is it like, because we talk about these people in jest almost because they're completely out of date characters and like not culture relevant, and then suddenly they've like boomeranged back around, become relevant, touring again, and now we're in their face. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I just need to ask Brian to call the Podiots listeners idiots and see what he
Morons.
says. Morons, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, no, not doing that, he'll say in his best dick voice.
No, not doing that.
It's an exciting time. It's an exciting time.
Very.
Very, very exciting. And I remembered that next week. I think last Christmas I treated myself to a ticket to see Shrek the Musical, and then I looked at my phone calendar, completely forgot that I booked those tickets, and there it was in the calendar. I was like, oh, okay. So
nice.
Surprise
Shrek.
I do love a bit of the arts.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're a wealthy patron of the arts. You're going to talk to us about Shrek the Musical after you've seen it?
Of course. I have watched it already on YouTube, so it'll be nice to see it in the flesh and see
right.
a man run around on his knees pretending to be Lord Farquaad. So.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can blag
with spicy knob will be in it.
See if I can blag a picture with any of the cast at the end. I'll say it's my birthday.
Yeah, you should.
Tell them you know Tom Campbell. And,
yes.
Like
the doors that opens.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, shall we begin the podcast?
I think we should.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Podiots, the official Vidiots
Idiots
podcast. It's a conversational podcast where we take some questions from you at home and obey the law of the 3 Rs, where everybody brings
a thing along to talk about.
I'm Ben.
I'm Peter.
And I'm Michael.
All right, boys.
Hello.
How are you feeling, Peter?
I don't feel very good. In fact, having pressed record and just sat down in this slowly warming room, I'm starting to feel worse. But I'll be fine, I'm sure.
Oh no.
Yeah, just a bit off today. Don't know why. Very, very sweaty and feverish last night. But better today. But
not the vid as yet.
No, not the vid. Confirmed. Well, certainly it not today. It is, and I've got symptoms, so I think that having symptoms and then testing, if it was the vid, it would have said it was. But I mean, I've known people who have been ill for like 3 days and testing negative, and then on day 4 suddenly they're positive. But we'll see. But yeah, at the moment, not the vid. I'm not a COVIDiot today.
Hey.
Another time.
But,
and how are you doing, Mikey?
Yeah, how you doing, Mikey?
I'm doing good. I'm not ill. I am in full health, I think. Unless there's something rotting inside of me, but so far so good. It's sunny outside. I've had a cycle. It's all lovely in Bristol town.
It's not sunny here.
Nice.
Oh.
No, it's not.
Is it not? Oh
No.
God, I'll sort
Really
it out.
wet.
It's kind of humid though.
Yeah.
We were because Peter was poorly today. We had to sub him out in a video, and we shot that today in the woods, and it was fucking boiling in those woods. It was so humid, really sweaty, and when you're dressed up and you're running around like an idiot, doing a proper grown-up job,
Yep.
it's unpleasant.
Yeah.
An unpleasant situation, but yeah, horrible up here.
Well, I was going to ask how you are, Ben, but clammy, I guess, or have been.
Yeah, kind of clammy. Did that shoot, then got on my bike. I replaced my bike.
You replaced the bike.
Cycling again.
Excellent
now.
News.
Yeah, no word from the police since last week.
No.
Why would there be?
Yeah.
Why would they send me an update? It's not like they've got more important things to do than hunt down my bike.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I cycled back, did a live stream, and now I'm still sat here. And I tell you what, I've never wanted to shower more, but needs must.
Yep.
The comedy, it awaits us in the funny minds.
It does.
Yeah, you've had a long day down the funny mines, but yeah, there's more mining to come, Ben.
There's still more funny to be had.
I think what we're saying, Mikey, is it's all on you today.
Yeah, you got to carry
Ben and
this, man.
We can't be expected to perform, I don't think. So,
Yeah, we're just going to be along for the ride, going, no.
yeah.
Wow.
What? Outrageous. But I tell you what, there is one bit where we can all be involved, and that's by going to podiots.com. And if you donate £3 or more, you become a podcast producer. You support this show, and you get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the podcast, just like...
We do not want your cum-mints. Cum-mints.
Lovely.
I can't. That's a hard one to say back to back. Cum-mints. I'm going to stop saying cum-mints.
We do not want your comments.
We do not want you. Oh, I get it. Wow. I'm on the ball today. Come on, let's go.
Yeah,
Start as we mean
come
to
on,
go
Michael.
Woo. We continue with the generous Jens Herman, who said, Some time ago, you were confused because people thought Peter was your boss at What Culture. I know the reason. In the video, 10 optional super bosses, narrated by Jules, he explained the difference between a regular boss, Peter, and a super boss, Joe Hendry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, Jules did used to sort of jokingly, as a front-facing thing, say that I was his boss, but only because I'd been with the gaming channel for like a year and a half before he was there. So I guess he used to sort of say boss. And then Joe Hendry was
actual CEO and boss of What Culture and would body slam anyone who disobeyed. No, he's a lovely man. He would never.
No.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jens.
Thank you, Jens. Very generous.
Thank you.
Mum, my cock's stuck in the bidet. Jimmy Grimble football film.
Jimmy Grimble. What a niche reference. I know what that is. That is really weird. Okay, sorry.
What's a Jimmy Grimble?
You're going to have to tell us what Jimmy Grimble is
Jimmy
now.
Grimble is a like northwest, set in Manchester. It's this film about it's a coming of age film about a boy who goes to school in like Oldham, and it was filmed at the high school that I would have gone into if we'd stayed living there. But it's got someone famous in it. Flipping, what's his name? He was in the full Monty.
Oh, Robert Carlyle. Yeah.
Robert Carlyle was in it. Yeah, and he just sort of goes from like school football to winning the sort of regional school cup or maybe national school cup. I think he plays at the end. He plays at Old Trafford. Like that's where the final match is held between the best schools in the country.
Jimmy Grimble.
Jimmy Grimble is his name, and it was filmed at essentially my high school. It was all part of the same group. But
I've never heard a more northwestern English name
such
in my
a
entire
northern
life.
film. Yeah.
Hey up, Jimmy Grimble. Sounds a bit like he's got a dicky tummy. Oh, I've got a case of the Jimmy Grimbles at the moment.
Yeah, they've got the Jimmy Grimbles.
This next one I like a lot.
It's very good.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how I pronounce it. I'm gonna go with my gut. Tony Hawk's Prostator, if you will.
Yeah,
Prostator.
I like it. Very good.
Donak 07, Freddie Weber, Stephen Scodes, Lord Brotovich, hashtag Free Hank the Tank, from Bear Prison, he did nothing.
We've also got Caroline took Ben's bike.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Caroline.
Happy anniversary. Is it Podiots anniversary? No, it can't be because we do the what happened this week in Podiots, in Vidiots, and that was ages ago, episode 1.
Oh, no. I think it's a connected donation.
Oh, sorry. Jumped the gun there. So we had Caroline took Ben's bike, then happy anniversary, Dave Matthews band incident.
Yes. Are you aware of this?
No.
This was, it would make such a good thing. This was obviously on this day or this week or this month, several years ago, the Dave Matthews band pulled up on the side of a bridge and emptied their poo tank.
Oh, yeah, we did the thing on that, didn't we?
We did.
Did we?
Yeah,
okay.
sure we did.
That's it then.
Right.
Yeah. Onto what was it? A boat passing underneath.
Yeah.
And loads of people got covered in poo. That's the incident.
Oh, no.
There we go.
We've also got Cat Karen, who was very generous and said, my sister Anna is having surgery next week on the 16th, and after, she'll be on bed rest for 6 weeks. So she will surely be binging Podiots. Could you please send her some wishes for a speedy recovery? Thanks, guys. Well, thank you, Anna.
Yes.
Best wishes to Anna, and thank you to Cat Karen.
Yes, thank you, Karen. Good luck, Anna. I'm sure you will be fighting fit in no time.
All the best.
Play lots of video games.
We best not be too funny, because Anna probably shouldn't be laughing too much if you're recovering from surgery. So
that's true. She could be it could be a funny bone related surgery.
Having some ribs put back in that were split previously.
A bust. We don't want to bust a gut.
Bust a gut. No.
We don't want to do that.
We've got Wayne Whopperooney. I'm a Gundai was a real name too. Did I not say that? That was one of the Jedi, the fake Star Wars names, but that one was real. I may have accidentally said it was false, but he was a Jedi who was made for an episode. He's like a red shirt in Star Trek, where they add these little extras on the ship who are designed literally just to die at this, in the episode. They needed a Jedi to die at the start of an episode, so they made a Jedi called I'm a Gon Die, and then he died.
Wow! Someone needs to stop George. I know he stole it, but even
that was George though at the time. That was George.
Yeah, I bet it was. That's peak George, isn't it?
And there's only so many names you can come up with, so he's definitely scraping the bottom.
We'll do better.
Yeah,
do better.
Just do better.
Yeah,
just do better than that.
Vidiots degrees when.
Oh, that's a good idea. We should sell those.
Stolen Biker Grove.
Very good.
It's coming back, Biker Grove.
Is it?
Heard this?
It is, yeah.
Oh my god.
With Ant and Dec. They're executive producers.
What?
We've got Boppenheimer, very good. And Chippy Whopperoony as well.
And finally, we've got It's Bartek's Fave Boomer Show, Young Sheldon D's Nuts, Sorry We Don't Impress You, Pete, Bucks for Ben's Burgled Bike, thank you very much. Caroline took Ben's bike again, apparently. Bear in an otter suit on a bike, Bear in a man suit, Mr. Macca, Luke Skywanker, Dave Benson thick hips, and Otter arrested for bike theft. And there you go. That is your Pod Squad this week. Thank you so much, Pod Squad. Podiots.com, £3 or more to get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the podcast and help us out, support things you enjoy. We love you. Thank you. Do you guys have a favourite?
Probably Luke Skywanker.
Yeah, that got a real surprise for me. I didn't see that one coming.
I did not see that one coming either, but I'm going to go with Tony Hawk's Prostator.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot.
I do like that. If we ever bring up a personal tragedy on the podcast, we can know that in the next episode you'll be getting beaten to a pulp with puns and jokes. It will be ridiculed.
Yeah, it will be ridiculed, and that will feel great. So thank you, everyone. Mikey, you are in charge of sourcing. I was going to say customer, listener things.
Customers, yes.
Listener things. So would you like to kick things off and tell us who's going first?
Well, since you've asked me, Ben, why don't you give us a go? What's your thing this week?
You want my listener thing?
Yeah.
Okay. My listener thing is from... Where is it? I'm going to find it now.
Oh, got your
God. Cat kissing face llama at X Pink Glasses on Twitter. I think this is the second show in a row that they've been featured on here.
Yeah.
Well
done. So this is a news story from NDTV, which I've never heard of before. US man addicted to tuna fish wears its juice as cologne, eats 15 cans a week.
Oh my God.
What a headline.
Really just went places immediately, didn't it? Wears its juice as cologne. Okay.
In his on-camera segment, Tyler humorously portrays himself as a big fish in a small can.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
It's humorous, though, right? We're all.
It's funny.
Very humorous.
It's funny. We're all laughing at it.
Uh-huh.
A US man has admitted to having such an intense addiction to the act of smelling, consuming, and even sipping from cans of tuna that it has led him to consume a staggering 15 cans on a weekly basis. I'm going to say right off the bat, if he's consuming that many cans, he's not going with the sustainably fished ones. He's going for the cheap stuff that has like dolphin in it and stuff.
Like
that's no good.
When you were little and you had like a favourite food you would eat all the time, did your grandma or your uncle say, "You'll turn into a custard cream," or whatever? Did they used to say that? Because he will turn into a tuna fish if he eats that much.
It can fucking smell him as well. Referred to as Tuna Tyler and hailing from Lawrence, Kansas, he made an appearance on an episode of the television program My Strange Addiction, Still Addicted? Broadcast on the TLC network in the United States. During his appearance, he discussed his obsession with canned fish. According to a report by the New York Post, Mr. Tyler has taken his obsession to the extent of even using its juice as a form of cologne. I love smelling tuna every day, all the time, all night, any day, every day, states the fish enthusiast.
Right.
He's always liked fish. When he was little, and most kids during Easter want chocolate in their baskets and things like that, he didn't eat the chocolate, so he put tuna in cans of sardines because he liked that, said Mr. Tyler's mother, Ursula, from The Little Mermaid, presumably.
Yeah. That was their immediate go-to. Oh, he doesn't like the chocolate. What else does he like? Well, he
Tuna.
sometimes has kippers and tuna. But
Should we maybe have him speak to a child psychologist about this?
Maybe a little bit. No. Ursula,
Let's
come
not.
on. Your son is not right. He stinks.
He stinks.
Before I continue the story, yes or no, does this man fuck tuna?
Yes.
Without a shadow of a doubt, yes.
That's got to be the correct answer.
Yeah.
I didn't think it would turn into, where he was smelling it and keeping it and being addicted to it now, his mother added. In a video excerpt from the TV show shared on YouTube, Tyler is seen seated at a coffee shop. He retrieves a small can of tuna and a can opener from his pocket.
And a can opener.
Casting furtive glances around, Mr. Tyler cautiously pops open the can and deeply inhales the aroma.
Oh, God.
As he indulges in this peculiar scent ritual, a woman carrying a steaming cup of coffee approaches him. Instead of sipping her beverage, Mr. Tyler once again takes in the scent of tuna, drawing the attention of the curious coffee shop crew around him. They call me Tuna Tyler, and I'm addicted to smelling tuna. When people see me smelling tuna out in public, they might think it's a little different for sure. It might look weird to other people, but to me, I think it's perfectly fine, he said.
Right.
And that's the end of the article.
Wow.
I don't know why it said there. Hang on, I'm a bit confused by this line. Instead of sipping her beverage,
Her beverage, yeah.
Tyler was going to stand up and just slurp out of this woman's cup.
Well, I guess it means that she works there and has brought him his coffee, but then it's not her beverage, is it?
No.
It's weird. I also thought, was it not, I don't know if it was ever proven or just speculated that a lot of the people on that show that it was fake, basically.
Was it? Is that right?
I don't know. But the fact they're doing a follow-up and it's called Still Addicted, because there was that guy who was in love with his car. And unfortunately the car, I think it had a crash and he had to get rid of it.
That's very sad.
Because I did see a clip from that recently. And then there was also someone who had a whole family of pool inflatables. But they didn't always just have them in the pool. They had them in their bedroom. And, they would just sort of cuddle this big killer whale. And it was, I mean, a lot of these people basically are suffering from a mental illness, I would argue.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like, isn't it?
Yeah, unfortunately. But, man, the tuna one, not heard of that guy until now.
No,
that's interesting.
Tuna Tyler.
Do you think he gave himself that name, or that was given to him by others?
Oh, man. He definitely chose that one, because if he stinks as much as he obviously does, that's not the nickname he's being given.
I mean, even if he wasn't wearing the juice as cologne, he probably would still just smell of tuna for eating that much of it all the time. But the fact he rubs it on himself is it's interesting.
Fucking weird, man.
Yeah, fucking weird is what it is.
Fucking strange dude. Thank you, fair listener, for submitting that news. We should say we put out a call for weird news, strange happenings in your local area, things that we could feature in these segments now. So keep an eye out on social media, Twitter, that is, when we ask for it, and you could be featured on this show.
Oh my God. Thank you very much, Ben. Absolutely delightful. I can smell it from here.
Yes.
Peter, would you like to kick us off with your thing?
I would. Thank you, Mikey. I have taken to Wikipedia today, and I've got a sort of a collection of articles, really. We're looking at basically made-up words today. I know all words are essentially made up, but these are real made-up words. So we start with the text from the article on ghost words, which begins, a ghost word is a word published in a dictionary or similar authoritative reference work, even though it had not previously had any meaning or been used intentionally. Ghost word generally originates from readers interpreting a typographical or linguistic error as a word that they're just not familiar with, and then publishing that word elsewhere under the misconception that it's an established part of the language. Once authoritatively published, a ghost word occasionally may be copied widely and enter legitimate use. It may eventually be discovered and removed from dictionaries. The term was coined by Professor Walter William Skeet. S-K-E-A-T, which sounds like its own made-up word, to be honest. And he talked about it in his annual address as president of the Philological Society in 1886.
That's a made-up word.
Yeah,
are we doing it already? Is that one of the fake ones?
I think so. So this was what he said in his speech. Of all the work which the Society has at various times undertaken, none has ever had so much interest for us collectively as the New English Dictionary. Dr. Murray, as you remember, wrote on one occasion the most able article in order to justify himself in omitting from the dictionary the word abacot, A-B-A-C-O-T, defined by Webster as, quote, the cap of the state formerly used by English kings wrought into the figure of 2 crowns. It was rightfully and wisely rejected by our editor on the ground that there is no such word, the alleged form being due to a complete mistake due to the blunders of printers and scribes or to the perfervid imaginations of ignorant or blundering editors.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. He's angry.
Scathing. I don't know what those words mean, but that sounded pretty scathing to me.
Yeah, probably made up some of those, I think.
Isn't an abacot just what Swedish pop groups put the babies in?
Oh,
yes, it is. Very good.
He's fucking done it.
It's not made up. It's real.
What? Wait, what?
No, I'm joking. That's what it could be, though. You found the real definition.
If you go deep into the hills of Sweden, then you'll find the abacot deep in the cave.
For fuck's sake.
He continued in his speech, I propose, therefore, to bring under your notice a few more words of the abacot type, words that will come under our editor's notice in the course of time and which I have little doubt that he will reject. As it's convenient to have a short name for words of this character, I shall take leave to call them ghost words. I can adduce at least 2 that are somewhat startling, as they are if you're president of the Philological Society anyway. The first is kime, K-I-M-E. The original word of this appeared in the Edinburgh Review for 1808 in the quote, the Hindus have some very savage customs. Some swing on hooks and some run chimes through their hands. The quote then from William Walter Skeet ends temporarily and the article just cuts back in and says, it turned out that chimes was a misprint for knives, but the word gained currency for some time. So, I mean, it's also just problematic in 1808. Well, not in 1808, but it's problematic now to be saying things like the Hindus have some very savage customs. But
yes, yeah, even the preposition the Hindus is a bit.
Yeah, he's not even spelt it right. They've put Hindoos. Hindus.
See, there's another one.
Yeah, just making stuff up left, right, and centre.
God's sake.
But Skeet continued with the second example. A similar instance occurs in the misprint of a passage of one of Walter Scott's novels, but here there is further amusing circumstance that the etymology of the false word was settled to the satisfaction of some of the readers. In the majority of editions of The Monastery by Sir Walter Scott, we read, Dost thou so soon morse thoughts of slaughter? Morse spelled as in Morse code, but with a lowercase m. Dost thou so soon morse thoughts of slaughter? He says, this word is nothing but a misprint of nurse. So nursing thoughts of something. But he says, in Notes and Queries, which is like a scholarly journal, 2 independent correspondents accounted for the word Morse etymologically. One said that it means to prime, as in when one primes a musket, from Old French amorce, which was the powder you used on the touch hole. And someone else said that it means to bite, from Latin mordere. So that's all. That's kind of the origin of what ghost words are, and that's a kind of quite, I don't know, tedious, archaic, long drawn out speech from Walter William Skeet. But there are some more interesting, more modern examples now that we can go to. So this is one you might have heard of. I think this is one of the most famous. The word dord. D-O-R-D. It has its own Wikipedia article. Dord is a dictionary error in lexicography. It was accidentally created as a ghost word by the staff of G&C Merriam Company, which is now part of the Merriam-Webster Dictionary Company. in the New International Dictionary, second edition in 1934. The dictionary defined the term dord as a synonym for density used in physics and chemistry in the following way. They put dord, noun, physics and chemistry, abbreviation for density. Philip Babcock Gove, who was an editor at Merriam-Webster, who became editor-in-chief of Webster's third Babcock, yes. He became editor-in-chief of Webster's third New International Dictionary, wrote a letter to the journal American Speech 15 years after the error was caught, in which he explained how the word dord was introduced to the dictionary in error and then corrected. He said that on the 31st of July 1931, Austin M. Patterson, who was the dictionary's chemistry editor, sent in a slip reading uppercase D or lowercase d, comma, density. This was intended to add density to the existing list of words that the letter D can abbreviate to. Because, you know, if you look in a dictionary, they have individual letters in there sometimes. Like if you look in a dictionary, there's an entry for the letter N, and it might have like newtons in it or something. Yeah. Or M, you look up M and it says meters. So he'd written a piece of paper and put D or D, density.
Dord.
Dord. They mistakenly thought that it was just the word dord.
Idiots.
And then it entered the dictionary and became part of speech. Dord. Density.
How hard is the job of editing a dictionary that you miss a blunder like that? I mean, how many words are there in the dictionary? Like 300 or something? God.
Well, yeah.
It's only 300.
Come on.
At least 300. It sounds like it's a lot of very intelligent people not wanting to ask questions that might potentially make them look foolish to other intelligent people. So they're just making assumptions, right?
Yeah. On the 28th of February 1939, an editor noticed that dord lacked an etymology and investigated it, discovering that it was an error. An order was sent to the printer marked plate change, imperative, urgent, and the non-word dord was excised. Density was then added as an additional meaning for the abbreviation D, and the definition of the adjacent entry, which was doré, so that came under dord in the dictionary. Ooh. They just expanded the definition of that to make it a bit longer, to take up the space that they'd removed from dord. Otherwise, every single page after that would have like rippled out of sync. They didn't want to have to change all of the printing plates. But then we've got a last few sort of selection of examples here, dord, as I say, being the main one. But in mathematics, Boole's rule, which is Boole, that was named after George Boole, and it's a method of numerical integration. But it's sometimes known as Bode's rule due to a typographical error that propagated from Abramowitz and Stegen, which is a mathematical reference work. So they just joined an O and an L together, and a lot of people talk about Bode's rule now to this day, apparently. In the book, here's one for you, Mikey. In the book Beyond Language, Adventures in Word and Thought, Dmitri Borgman shows how theming, which is F-E-A-M-Y-N-G, theming, a purported collective noun for ferrets, which appeared in several dictionaries, is actually the result of a centuries-long chain of typographical errors or misread handwriting errors. So you might know, Mikey, I didn't know this, that a collective noun for ferrets is a busyness. You can say there's a busyness of ferrets.
Wait, is it pronounced busyness? I've always just said business. A busyness sounds way better, though, actually.
Is it a Y?
I mean, there's a Y in it.
What?
In this bit here, in this original thing. But maybe it's now a business of ferrets. It might have just been corrupted over time in a different way. But certainly originally it was a busyness of ferrets with a Y in it. That was then written wrongly in some book as a besiness, B-E-S-Y-N-E-S. Then that became a fezziness, and then that became a F-E-S-N-Y-N-G, fezning, and then that became theming. I don't know, because people are just misreading handwritten notes and stuff over time. And someone writes the wrong thing in a dictionary, and it passes on to the next reference book, and everyone just trusts these books unquestioningly. So a busyness became a theming of ferrets.
A theming of ferrets, yeah.
Some of these errors continue. They just became the actual words that we still use to this day. Apparently, the Hebrides, as in the islands in Scotland or off Scotland, come from the Latin Hebudes, Hebudes, but the U just accidentally turned into an R and an I because of a scribal error. So now we call them the Hebrides because someone made a mistake. Then, interestingly, the new Oxford American Dictionary includes an entry for the word esquivalience, which they literally just put in there to trap people who were copying their work. It was like a copyright protection word. It was purely made up. The definition they put was the willful avoidance of one's official responsibilities. And the fake entry apparently ensnared dictionary.com, which included an entry for esquivalience for some time, which has since been removed. And also Google Dictionary included the word because they have like a licensing agreement with Oxford Dictionaries, and it had just, I guess, automatically copied across. And then lastly, we've got someone who apparently in July 2008, a 17-year-old student called Dylan Breves edited the Wikipedia article on the coati, which is like a mammal, a little animal thing. And he said that coatis are also known as Brazilian aardvarks. They are not. It was a private joke. There is no such thing as a Brazilian aardvark, but this was left unchanged for 6 years and proliferated in various reference books, just because he said that that's what it was called. So there you go. Some made-up words that were passed around as real.
Cute.
Amazing.
Hopefully one day we can get a word in the dictionary.
That would be nice.
Let's get, like, would Boppus be in
there?
Is it Boppus in there? Dictionary.com. If it's already in there, then I guess we've got the job's already done.
Buy one, pick up in store.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, buy online.
No results for Boppus. Wow. Well, come on, boys. It's time to vandalise some Wikipedia articles and make Boppus real.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do we get Boppus in? Can we submit a word?
Maybe we have to.
If you've got an idea for a word, you just send it into
great idea for a word.
This would be a great
people.
word. Maybe we can edit the Wikipedia entry for the coati and just say, also known as the Brazilian boppis, and eventually someone will pick it up.
The Brazilian boppis. I like it.
Absolutely spectacular. Thank you very much, Peter. I feel very learned now.
Yeah, it was pretty dense, wasn't it? Pretty dawed, that
very dawed, yeah.
Ooh, look at this. I am going to read my article this week. I did kind of steal the best one for myself. I'm sorry, but
Is it another seagull?
No, sadly no. I did have a hunt around for some seagull news, but as to Bedminster, it's gone quiet. So I'm keeping my ear close to the ground.
Because everyone's dead. The seagulls killed them all.
A fierce battle that lasted hours and hours. There was no more animal catchers to finally tame the seagulls, so he won.
Yeah.
And now he feasts on the children that enter Asda. I have an article, and it was submitted by Groovy Pasty at Groovy Pasty on Twitter, and the headline reads, and I'm so sorry, Dad hasn't stopped farting since eating ham roll at Christmas market 5 years ago.
Hang on.
What?
Hang on. There's a lot wrong with that.
Wow. So he's identified exactly what caused it. It was 5 years ago, and he's not stopped farting since.
Oh, dear.
I mean, I don't think any of us have technically stopped farting.
Well, no, exactly. Since eating a ham roll at Christmas.
Since we were born.
Yeah, at what point does the frequency of farts become constant? And when is it
we're going to learn, is it just a wind tunnel?
Is it just one constant sound?
Or did he maybe he'd never farted before Christmas 5 years ago, and then he ate that ham roll, and now he just farts a couple of times a day, and he's like, that fucking ham roll. I've not stopped since.
Oh, dear.
Tell us more.
The subtitle reads, Tyrone Prades, Tyrone Prades, I'm going to say, claims he has suffered life-changing problems since eating a festive ham hock bap at the Frankfurt Christmas market in Birmingham 2017. The company denies blame.
Yeah, because the one who smelt it doubted, right?
That's true. Yeah.
A dad who claims he has had embarrassing chronic flatulence since eating a ham roll at a Christmas market 5 years ago is suing for over £200,000.
Oh my God.
Who took his case?
I feel like the problem, there might be a case in that, because if he is farting non-stop, then like that food has potentially caused life-altering changes. Like that man can't go to church anymore without embarrassing himself. Like,
No, he can't. Not church.
No, he was a regular church goer until then.
He has to take the stairs everywhere because lifts are just dangerous now. You don't want to be stuck in there like that.
Yeah.
He's
true.
the guy from all the jokes.
He is. He might be able to get some sort of brand deal with Shreddies, though. He could become the face or the arse of Shreddies.
That's it. That's how we do it. All right, Shreddies, have you still got that contact, Ben? Is it time to hit them up? We've got one for them.
I do, yeah. I mean, it's been 4 years since I last spoke to them, but probably, yeah.
They'll remember you. Well, they'll remember us. They'll remember Mikey.
They'll remember Mikey, yeah, absolutely. Just keep this guy away from Tuna Tyler.
Yeah.
Because combined, the world's not ready.
Smells. Yeah.
Oh, God. The article continues. The 46-year-old says he's suffered with severe tummy problems.
No, tummy problem.
He's got my fully tum-tum.
Needs to eat more bifidus actor regularis.
Does get his yak hole down him.
He suffered with severe tummy problems within a day after eating the sandwich and was bedbound for 5 weeks afterwards and ill for months.
5 weeks?
Into the ringer. Mr. Prads says he has been left permanently afflicted by embarrassing flatulence as well as other issues, including a belly that makes churning noises. A belly that makes churning noises so loud they keep him awake at night. Sorry.
They keep him awake at night.
Oh, sorry, this isn't funny. This man's had gone through something traumatic, but oh my God, it's just the use of tummy and his belly's. He's got a rumbly belly.
This sounds like an episode of The Simpsons.
Yeah, it does. It's also like, it's not that, like the sensation of his belly like turning over, and it's not the discomfort. It's just making a racket. It's
so loud.
Keeping him up.
Oh, bless him. He claims he contracted salmonella from the BAP and says market operator Frankfurt Christmas Market Limited, how festive, should pay more than £200,000 in compensation. However, the company denies blame and claims there was no salmonella bacteria at the ham hock stall. Believe us, we promise there's no salmonella.
It wasn't at the ham hock stall. It's, all over the market, but we know it wasn't at
Fish
that
market,
stall.
Yeah.
According to documents filed, so this is legit, like he did try and sue them. According to documents filed at the High Court in London, Mr. Prads of Chippenham, Wiltshire, went to the market with his wife and children on December 9th, 2017. Within 24 hours, he was ill, suffering with stomach cramps, fever, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, stated his lawyer, Robert Parkin. Oh, one letter off Parkin.
You're an idiot, Robert.
One letter off Porkin.
On a no-win, no-fee basis. He thought this would be a fun one. Makes a change from the usual, I guess.
Yeah.
The claimant began to return to life as normal during 2019, but continued to feel lethargic and to suffer from bouts of diarrhea and similar complaints, he says. The symptoms are primarily fatigue and altered bowel function, associated with churning within his abdomen and with flatulence. The claimant continues to suffer from excessive flatulence, which causes him a great deal of embarrassment. The claimant's stomach continues to make frequent churning noises to the extent that his sleep can become disrupted.
I like the idea that if this goes to court, while they're all trying to like go through this story and work out, who's culpable, there'll just be constant churning coming from one corner of the courtroom from this man.
And if there isn't, then case closed, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Mr. Parkin claimed the ham hock had been contaminated with the bacteria and that other visitors to the market fell ill after eating at the stall too. I guess he was the very unlucky one. He got concentrated salmonella. A total of 16 people in 3 groups complained of similar symptoms after eating at the stall. Following an investigation by the Public Health England, 2 cases of salmonellosis, I didn't realise there was a word for it, but hey, salmonellosis were confirmed as originating at the stall between the 9th and 11th of December that year. Ooh, so they lied. They said there was no salmonella, but look, the proof says otherwise.
Oh, no.
The bacteria was found on a knife used to cut cooked meat and an unsatisfactory level of enterobacteria. Oh my God, wow, that is just a collection of vowels. Can one of you tell me how I pronounce this, please? Oh God, I've got too many Discords that all have Vidiots in them. There we go. Enterobacteriaceae.
Enterobacteriaceae. Bacteriaceae.
Bacteriaceae.
I don't know. Nope, not sure.
What a word.
The complicated black bacteria. This caused the stall to be closed and deep cleaned and the remaining of the food disposed of. Mr. Prage is suing the company, alleging it was negligent in supplying a contaminated BAP, having failed to have sufficient hygiene measures in place. It is plain that a foodstuff which is contaminated in the matter the BAP was not one which was suitable for human consumption, he says. The company is defending Mr. Prade's allegations, disputing that he was infected by Salmonella bacteria and also questioning the size of his claim. Oh, well, at the end, 200 grand for 5 years, I think that's fair. I don't know how much money a BAP van has, though, so he might be barking up the wrong tree.
I mean, it sounds like there was Salmonella at the stall, and,
yes.
You know, he might even be able to prove that he was one of the people who caught it. I mean, it's 5 years ago. I don't know how you prove definitively that I also got it from that stall. But then you need to make the leap of, like, I'm not saying it's not, like, you can upset your gut biome, can't you, by, like, being really ill. You can, like, lose certain bacteria, like the good bacteria from your tummy, and then that can just leave you off balance kind of for a long period of time. So people have to have sometimes people have to have poo transplants, don't they? Have you heard of this?
Oh, yeah, so kind of get different bacteria in your gut, yeah.
Yeah,
I saw a South Park episode about it.
Oh, right, okay. It's a real thing. It's like a medical thing of people donate their own shit, which has, you know, like a good microbiome. And then that stuff is like input, it's like laid into people's like small intestine or something to try and like help their gut biome.
Don't really want to think about how they put it up there.
Yeah.
God.
I think they just go ass to ass.
And that's pretty much where the article stalls. It says at the end here, it went to the court last week and they're planning a future trial of the claim. So I guess I'll keep my eyes peeled to see if our boy gets justice. But yeah. Should have gone to, what was the BAPS van called with the dogging?
Oh, God.
Bertha's Baps or something?
Yeah, something like that.
I can't remember now. Yeah, I don't even know where I'd find it.
It said Bertha's Baps. You should have gone to Bertha's.
Bertha's
Wouldn't happen at Bertha's.
I'm going to Google dogging burger van and see if I get it.
Oh, here we go. I found it.
All right.
I've just started. I started typing. I typed dogging space BAPS and he said, oh, this is something you looked at before. Men from Manchester are holding dogging parties in the bushes behind a roadside cafe called Big Baps.
Oh, Big Baps. Oh, there you go. Oh, dear.
Her business is being blighted by, in quotes, men from Manchester. It's such a good article. It's so good.
Yeah.
All-timer.
Fuck. Okay.
Well, thank you, Mikey. And
yes, thank you.
Submitter as
Really
well.
nasty. Thank you. Ben, how are you feeling about doing your thing right now?
I got a thing right here. All this thing right in your trunk. How are you going to handle all that thing inside your trunk? That's fucking weird. History.com is the home of today's thing. Right. This was written by Christopher.
Thank you. Sorry. That was really bad. That was
fuck me.
Good,
Christopher Klein. He has one hit and he just won't stop.
Come on, guys, laugh.
Christopher Klein. This was originally published in September of 2015, so you're right, it is historical. But was updated on the 23rd of May this year. Don't know how. I've had a look through. Don't really see how that could have been updated. Maybe it was just republished. Anyway, here we go. The Man Who Bought Stonehenge.
Okay.
You want to learn about this? Well, you're fucking gonna. So here we go. Like most of the bargain hunters who packed the Palace Theatre in Salisbury, England on the afternoon of September the 21st, 1915, please don't laugh, Cecil Chubb was looking for a deal. Come on.
Sorry, no, I just breathed. I wasn't laughing. I was just breathing.
Legend says the wealthy 39-year-old lawyer had been dispatched by his wife to purchase a set of dining chairs, but that all changed when auctioneer Howard Frank announced lot number 15, Stonehenge, with about 30 acres, 2 rods, 37 perches of adjoining downland. It may be hard to imagine the world's first prehistoric monument, now a UNESCO world... Is it UNESCO? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah. The world's first prehistoric monument. How did they know that?
It says here.
I guess it means that still maybe they've dated all known prehistoric monuments and it's the oldest surviving one. But it's
the oldest surviving, or it might be the oldest UNESCO.
Oh yeah, it's probably that. Yeah, it seems possibly quite a claim to say this is the first monument ever.
This is the oldest thing.
Yeah.
Now a UNESCO World Heritage Site for sale to the highest bidder. But that's what happened when the extensive estate of Sir Edmund Antrobus went under the gavel just months after his death a century ago. What may be even harder to imagine is that Frank found no eager buyers when he opened the bidding at £5,000. Can one of you have a look at what £5,000 is worth today? It's 1915 is when it was originally.
What do you call it? Inflation.
What do you call it? Inflation. Oh, bloody inflation.
I'll read the next bit while
stuff gets bigger.
While you look that up. Surely someone will offer me £5,000, the auctioneer intoned after being greeted with silence. As he peered out at the crowd, Frank was relieved to finally see a hand raised in the air. The bidding reached £6,000 before hitting another lull. Gentlemen, it is impossible to value Stonehenge, Frank said. Surely £6,000 is poor bidding, but if no one bids me any more, I shall set it at this price. Will no one give me any more than £6,000 for Stonehenge?
What year did you
bargain.
say?
1915.
Okay, do you want to know how much 5,000 was?
I would.
The equivalent of 422,969 pounds and 32 pence. So basically 423k.
Wow, that's not a lot for
the
Stonehenge.
Opening bid. No.
I don't have that kind of money, but yeah, that is cheap. I'd scrape together. I'd do a collection at that point to try and get it for that cheap.
I don't think people had nearly as much grotesque money as people do today, do they?
Yeah.
Or some people do. You know, so maybe that's it. Maybe that's also partially it. Very wealthy people had hundreds of thousands to spare, but these days someone would swoop in. It'd be some Saudi prince or something would buy it for $1 billion. Not even sweat it, you know.
Back then you had to put your whole Frank Antrobusy into it. Right?
Oh, fuck's sake. How long were you sitting on that one?
A while. I was waiting for a moment where I could bring it in, but I was like, we're going to get away from Frank if I leave it too long.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about Frank much more.
No.
Will no one give me any more than £6,000 for Stonehenge? Someone did. Chubb. Full stop. When the auctioneer finally lowered his gavel, Stonehenge had been sold for £6,600, slightly more than $1 million in today's money. Sorry, Peter, I should have just read on.
No. That's not true. 558,000 according to bankofengland.co.uk.
So. This guy's a clown. Doesn't know a thing. Chubb, who was born only 3 miles from Stonehenge, told a local newspaper that he had no intention of purchasing the Neolithic relic when he entered the theatre, but did so on a total whim. While I was in the room, I thought a Salisbury man ought to buy it, and that is how it was done, he said. Stonehenge was certainly a fixer-upper by the time Chubb took the deed. The monument, which had been privately owned since King Henry VIII confiscated it from a nearby Benedictine abbey around 1540, had been drawing curious visitors since Roman times. 19th century souvenir hunters armed with chisels regularly took chips off the old blocks, and etched their names in the ancient stones. In 1900, an outer sarsen upright stone and an enormous lintel crashed to the ground, while wooden planks propped up other stones. The following year, Antrobus, whose family had purchased Stonehenge in the early 1800s, fenced off the monument and began to charge a 1 shilling admission to pay for a guard and a restoration of the neglected ruin. Just a year after Druids placed a curse on... There's so much here that I really wish we knew more about.
Yeah.
Just a year after Druids placed a curse on the monument's owner for banning their annual solstice celebrations, Antrobus lost his only son and only heir to the baronetcy on the Western Front in October 1914 during one of the opening battles of World War I. 4 months later, Antrobus himself passed away at the age of 67, and his widow placed his 6,420-acre Amesbury Abbey estate, which included Stonehenge, up for auction. Some preservationists believed Stonehenge should be turned over to the British government for safekeeping, but it remained in private hands with Chubb's purchase. Reportedly, the lawyer's wife, Mary, was not thrilled with his monumental buy, perhaps because she still pined for that dining room set, which made it an easier decision when Chubb gifted Stonehenge to the British people in October 1918. Stonehenge is perhaps the best known and most interesting of our national monuments and has always appealed strongly to the British imagination, Chubb wrote in his letter announcing the donation. To me, who was born close to it and during my boyhood and during my boyhood and youth visited it all hours of the day and night, under every conceivable condition of weather, in driving tempests of hail, rain and snow, fierce thunderstorms, glorious moonlight and beautiful sunshine, it always had an inexpressible charm. I became the owner of it with a deep sense of pleasure and had contemplated that it might remain a cherished possession of my family for long years to come. It has, however, been pressed upon me that the nation would like to have it for its own and would prize it most highly. The British government launched an extensive renovation of Stonehenge in 1919 that included straightening stones and resetting them in concrete. Nearly a century later, the restoration work has continued with the removal of nearby roads and outdated visitor facilities in order to return the nearby landscape to its ancient appearance. In return for his gift, Chubb received the title First Baronet of Stonehenge, but locals dubbed Sir Cecil... Viscount Stonehenge, which is a very cool name.
Yeah. Dub the Chubb.
They the Chubb. We Chubb thee. Chubb, who died at the age of 58, which is very young, in 1934, stipulated in his donation that those who lived near Stonehenge should receive free admission to the monument. To this day, around 30,000 of the 1.3 million people who visit annually can do so without paying the admission fee, thanks to the impulse buy of Stonehenge's last private Chubb.
Yeah, I think I knew that locals get in for free. I'm sure I've heard that somewhere.
Yeah. It's like Radio 1's big weekend, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just the same.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Very
a story about the last owner of Stonehenge.
I was ashamed to admit all I could focus on the entire story was the fact he's called Chubb. That is
Yeah, me too. Me too. Such a shame. Such a generous Chubb. He gave a lot to us all. I really want to know more about this curse that was.
The druid,
what the hell? You can't just say
sort
that
of
and not
drop
explain
that
it.
in.
The druid curse, like what?
Yeah, the curse.
Yeah, the druid. After the druid curse, killed off the son and then also the man, it was sold to Chubb.
Yeah.
Brilliant. What a journey. But that's my thing.
Fascinating. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ben.
You're welcome.
Peter, would you like to read out your thing this week?
I'd love to.
Your viewer submitted thing, yes.
Yeah, my viewer submitted one. This was submitted by Connor Bennett at cbennett_12. It's according to the Bristol Post. And the headline, it's quite the headline. This really took me by surprise. Strictly's Les Dennis accused of being a purebred racehorse in bizarre Wikipedia edits. Now, that's not a metaphor. He's actually being accused of being a purebred racehorse.
Okay.
And he's looking a little horse.
The Family Fortune star completes the Strictly 2023 lineup, but some of the reaction to his next TV stint has been anything but normal. This is written by Maisie Lillywhite, senior audience writer.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Indeed. She's got the top writer on this. So, context for those who don't know, because I don't think this necessarily tells you who Les Dennis is. It just tells you why he's relevant at the moment. Les Dennis was a TV presenter of sort of game shows and things, particularly Family Fortunes, which I think is called Family Feud in America, right?
Yeah.
But he's done, other things before and since. But yeah, he's then become one of these kind of, not quite a Dave Benson Phillips character, because I think he does actually still get work, but he was lampooned.
Burn!
Brutal.
That's not quite what I meant, but I mean, he still gets like some mainstream work, is my point, rather than doing his own kind of private functions and stuff. Yes. But he was lampooned. He was in on the joke, but he was like lampooned by Ricky Gervais in a few different sitcoms as this kind of like washed up guy who, doesn't get any work or anything, but it's kind of a joke, and really he does. But anyway, so Strictly Come Dancing contestant Les Dennis has been the subject of a bizarre internet conspiracy this week, with social media users claiming the comedian is in fact a purebred racehorse. This morning, August 11th, the BBC officially announced that Les was the 15th and final celebrity to be joining the Strictly 2023 lineup, with the star saying he can't wait to get stuck in. The announcement of each celebrity contestant has sparked a reaction on social media, but some of the comments made following Les's announcement have been a bit different to those his peers received. Many Strictly fans have been excited to hear that Les will be competing in the next series, while others have been confused as to why the BBC has signed an, quote, alleged horse. Wikipedia appears to have locked the Formula Family Fortunes host's page for editing after users began changing it to say he was actually an equine. In a series of now amended entries posted on Twitter by journalist Oz Cartergy, several editors have made reference to the comedian's, quote, extraordinary racing ability for a horse measuring at 17 hands, and how he is most known for being a secret horse in the opening paragraph of his Wikipedia entry. One entry reads, Les Dennis Hasseltine, born 12th of October 1953, is a purebred racehorse pretending to be an English television presenter, actor and comedian. According to the history of the 69-year-old's Wikipedia page, a Wikipedia user by the name of Joyous protected the page following persistent vandalism at 11:23 p.m. on August the 9th. But this certainly didn't stop the hilarious screenshots from going viral on Twitter and plenty of social media users galloping, not trotting, to make horse-related jokes at Les's expense following his Strictly announcement. Then a screenshot of Les Dennis Hasseltine is a purebred racehorse pretending to be an English television presenter.
Do you reckon I'll mention this on Strictly?
I hope so.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Gotta lean into it.
Then it has some of the sort of comments in the article as well. Dressage on primetime TV, you love to see it, one fan tweeted. Another joked, when first asked, Les said nay to appearing. Oh. A third quipped, I didn't know a horse could dance. I mean,
well, we did.
Clearly this person's not been looking at Bin Laden's hard drive.
Where have you been?
Yeah, come on. Following the news, Les has gushed over his upcoming appearance on Strictly, with the TV legend set to celebrate a big birthday during the year's series. I'm thrilled to be doing this iconic, wonderful show as I approach my 70th birthday, Les said. In my career, I've always gone for challenges outside my comfort zone, and this is the ultimate one. Can't wait. There's another... in fact, it might be the same screenshot, but I've just noticed the second sentence in it. Oh, yeah, it's a different screenshot, actually. Les Dennis Hasseltine is an English television presenter, actor, comedian, and racehorse. He presented Family Fortunes from 1987 until 2002. Dennis is well known for his extraordinary racing ability for a horse measuring at 17 hands. Yeah, we had that earlier in the article.
For God's sake.
So
that's a horse in a man suit.
It is. It's sort of the inversion. But yeah, that's the end of the article, pretty much. There's just some filler at the end.
There's no explanation of where this started, why it started at all. It's just, people are doing this. Yeah, whatever.
Great. I love that.
Is that just one person started it and then everyone else, I guess if there's a new person on Strictly every year, then if you just make some cheeky edits to a D-list celebrity's Wikipedia page, it might go unnoticed for a while. So when the show starts, what's Les Dennis been up to? Click on the Wikipedia page, bam. You got your horse.
He's a horse.
He's a racehorse. He's a horse.
I didn't know that. Oh, love, did you hear this? Les Dennis is actually a horse.
It's great. Well, thanks for sending that in, Connor Bennett. I enjoyed that.
That's good.
Don't know about you guys, but we've not had any pictorial stuff to add to the thread so far. We've got some tuna and a picture of the dictionary. Oh, you guys have been adding stuff anyway.
Yeah, we got some stuff in there.
Okay,
I'll
so
creative with it.
I'll put a screenshot of Les in there as well.
Yeah, just for all time's sake.
Or a racehorse.
Yeah.
Interchangeable.
Now, move on to my thing. So I thought I'd take us back to the Greeks in the height of philosophy and whatnot, and kind of dig around and see what was going on in them days.
What was going on in them days?
What was going on? I always picture the Greeks as being, the kind of the peak of civilization. These lofty thinkers with all these big ideas, and I want to like thinking about the world and how things work and how we interact with it. So today I'm going to hone in on one particular philosopher, Diogenes. Diogenes of Sinope. Hello.
I'm sorry. I don't know enough about Greek philosophers. Can I see that written down? I just want to make sure it is Diogenes.
I think it is, yeah.
Okay.
Diogenes is nuts.
That seems right.
Amy studied classics and is constantly. I've heard all these. Like a lot of them, like that. It's spelled Diogenes.
It is.
And then who else is there? There's Antigone, which is spelled Antigone. So there's a lot of traps to fall into with these people. But yeah, I think it's Diogenes.
Okay, so it's not Diogenes because that's me. I've got those.
Diogenes? No, I'm going to stick with Diogenes.
Sorry, Mikey. Carry on.
Diogenes of Sinope was an ancient Greek philosopher and self-proclaimed citizen of the world, who at different points allegedly lived in a wine barrel, urinated on guests at a banquet, and made a regular practice of insulting famous figures and lecturing shoppers in the marketplace in old Athens. Plato... Oh, he's a naughty boy. He's a rapscallion. Plato reportedly called him a Socrates gone mad, while 21st century historians have compared his life to one long Monty Python sketch. But though some believed him to be crazy, Diogenes was also one of the most respected and beloved philosophers of the 4th century, and one of the founders of the ancient Greek school of philosophy known as Cynicism.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I think I've actually skirted around a lot of the philosophy that he perpetuated instead of going for the weird shit he did. But I guess what is cynicism? Oh God, I can't believe I'm doing an article about a cynicist and I don't know what cynicism really means in terms of Greek philosophy.
I wouldn't worry about it. I'm just intrigued by the fact that he pissed on people.
Yeah, we're going to learn about the piss parties.
He's a cynopist, I guess.
Hey, did you know that pissing on people is hereditary? It runs in your Diogenes. No, Diogenes. God damn it. Fuck.
Damn it.
Oh, let down.
So
good try.
Come on. Hey, let me say it again. It runs in your Diogenes.
Brilliant.
Woo.
Thanks.
Outstanding. Really good.
So the story all begins when he moved from his home in Sinope to Athens. He arrived in Athens with a single slave named Manes. However, this slave took advantage of the arrival to escape his master, and Diogenes... oh my God, I don't know how to pronounce this word. I'm going to call him Dio from now on. Is that fine?
Right, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Mr. D.
Mr. D. Dio didn't report this, as he is supposed to have said, if Manes can live without Dio, Dio can certainly live without Manes.
Right.
Off he runs. He's fine. He's having a merry old time. Dio's meagre living was legendary. He had asked someone to find a cottage for him when he came to the city, but when the search dragged on, he just found an old wooden tub down by the river and lived in there instead. I think he wheeled it into the market and just kind of resided in the town centre, sitting in a big tub. Which sounds quite fun. He begged for a living and he owned very few possessions. But one day, after seeing a small peasant boy drink from a puddle using his hands to cup the water, Dio chucked away his bowl, and because he thought, well, if this kid can do stuff with his hands, I don't need the bowl. The bowl is unnecessary. So I think that's part of cynicism, is just kind of stripping back to the necessities, maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out.
If you were around, you'd ask him, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh, Dio, what's that? What's that all about?
It says here, Diogenes believed human beings live artificially and hypocritically and would do well to study the dog.
Oh, okay.
All right. Sure.
Good timing. We're just about to get into his doggy business.
All right.
Due to his interesting way of living, he was often closely associated with the dog. One time, while he was eating food in the market, which was a serious social faux pas. Oh my God, I can't do anything that isn't English. Nope. It's a social no-no.
What are you trying to say? What is happening?
Faux pas.
Faux pas.
No, don't tell him. Don't tell him.
Faux pas. That's what dogs have.
Were you trying to say foie gras?
No. Discount faux pas.
Faux pas. Is it faux pas? Oh my god. Wow. X's, man. Wow, I
It's
really can't
pronounced
read.
Folks Pass.
Folks
I
pass.
thought it was
thank you.
Foix Poix. Yeah, is that a difference?
Serious Foix Poix at the time. Onlookers gathered around him as he ate his meal and shouted "dog" at him.
Oh no.
Wow.
To which Dio replied, "It is you who are the dogs, for you all gather and stare at me while I'm eating my breakfast." Which is pretty,
Fair point.
it's very good. All right, Dio, you're onto something there. Dio also took after the dog in one other respect: his complete lack of embarrassment over performing his bodily functions in public. At a party, he was mocked by the Athenian elite, calling him a dog and throwing bones at him. So that's a bit mean. Oh, leave Dio alone. So he simply stood up, walked over, lifted his leg, and proceeded to urinate on them. And on another occasion, in order to end a conversation with someone who would not leave him alone, he just defecated on the street in front of them.
Okay.
Oh.
It's a pretty good technique. I mean, yeah, that'll
It's
scare them
definitely
off.
it's dog stuff, isn't it?
I'm surprised. Like, I thought when you sort of introduced this, it was going to be, the kind of the little known side of Diogenes, and like, he's this, everyone thinks he's a big fancy Greek philosopher, but like what most people don't know is how he lived. But apparently this is just like well known, like apparently senile squalor syndrome, when old people go into like self-neglect and hoarding and just living in squalor, is also called Diogenes syndrome.
No
This
way.
is just-
Oh.
yeah.
Oh my god! Wow. So yeah, like he was legit just a little goblin man. I guess.
This is just well known in the academic in the whole world seemingly. It's just passed us by that we didn't know this about him.
There's still more to come. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Dio himself made no secret that he dealt with his own sexual impulses through masturbation. That's fine. You're allowed to do that, Dio. But what you're not allowed to do is do it in public. Naughty, Dio. Naughty. Spray him with water. But when he was chastised for doing so in public, he replied that he wished it was so easy to cure hunger by rubbing his belly.
Oh. Yeah. Don't we all?
Oh dear. The cynics were concerned with living the philosophical ideal rather than just going off book knowledge. Hence, Dio had no patience for Plato and his endless theorizing. Dio regularly came to Plato's academy to heckle and disrupt the lectures. In one famous anecdote, Plato attempted to characterize humanity using the definition of his teacher Socrates. Humans were, in his word, featherless bipeds. And on hearing the news, Dio brought a plucked chicken to the academy, announcing he had found Plato's human.
Oh, very good.
And Dio had won the argument, and the academics were forced to revise their definition of a human, albeit only to a flat-nailed featherless biped.
Right.
Still, that's not great, guys. Come on, Plato, you can do better than that.
Is that what it took for them? Surely, again, like they're speaking metaphorically, but then when he turns up and says, "Look, I've got a plucked chicken here and it's not a human," they all go, "Oh, crap, you're right. Oh, my God. I've been thinking all this time." Jesus.
Another anecdote passed down through history is that Dio was taken prisoner by pirates on a trip to the island of Aegina. Aegina, I'm going to say Aegina.
Brad.
Dio and the other prisoners weren't given enough food, even though the pirates intended to sell them on as slaves. Dio pointed out that if you're going to sell sheep, wouldn't you fatten them up to get the highest price? And seeing the logic, the pirates began actually feeding the prisoners more food. There you go.
I like how all the stories about him are just and then everyone agreed he was a fucking sick guy and
Yeah.
and
Dio,
then
you're
he went on his
sick.
next adventure.
Yeah, rather than being told, Dio, shut up, get back in your,
Yeah,
your
exactly.
wine
Yeah,
pot.
can we kill this prisoner because he's loud and being obnoxious? It's like, no. Oh, you know what? You make a great point, handsome Greek man.
Yeah, it's
Have
like
some more chips.
He's got some sort of superpower where he can just like shit in the street, and then as soon as everyone goes, "Hey, what are you doing?" he just says no, and they go, "Yeah, you know what? You're right. No,
You're brilliant. You are.
Yeah,
You're
good
so
old
clever.
Diogenes."
The heady early days of philosophy where you could do pretty much anything and it would go down in history.
Oh god.
And when he was at the auction ready to be sold, he was asked where he was from, and he replied, "I am a citizen of the world." And when asked what he was skilled at, he replied, "Governing men." Apparently, yeah, he is.
Fuck off. Fuck. This guy deserved to be punched a lot more than he clearly was.
Then he pointed at a man in the front row and just said, "Sell me to him. He looks like he needs a good master." Oh dear, what a card.
And they all went, "Yes, Diogenes, you're right. We will do what you say."
Well,
love you, Diogenes.
Apparently, yes. The well-dressed man, I can't pronounce that name, Zenides, I'm going to say, Zenides appreciated his sense of humour, and he bought Dio, who went with him to his home in Corinth. Dio became an instructor for this person's sons who loved their teaching. So, oh my God, imagine letting this man around your children to teach them. Oh my God.
And remember, boys, when we have a hunger in our penis, we rub it away in the street.
No.
Oh, man.
So while he was a slave for another man, Dio refused offers of ransom for his release by friends. He was quite happy staying put where he was. Some versions of the story have Dio living out the rest of his life in that house and being quite happily just being a little slave man. I think he was probably after a while given a loose leash and was able to
being a little slave man. Oh my God.
I don't know what just came out. I'm sorry.
What a fucking sentence.
I mean, this was a man who lived in a barrel for a while, probably surrounded by his own leavings. So he probably, was reasonably happy wherever he was sent to.
Ooh, little slave man.
Little slave man.
You got yourself a little slave man. That's nice. What does he do? Oh. He just pisses everywhere.
he just masturbates and shit. It's awful.
Tells my children to shit in the street.
One of the greatest minds of our time.
Oh, God.
And so while he was in Corinth, being a little slave boy, so I'm going to stop saying that. It feels wrong. It was in this time that he met with the legendary leader, Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great was actually out in search of the great philosopher. He was hunting him down and found. Yeah, he was like he wanted to see the person in the flesh and get a real taste for him.
God.
And so Alexander the Great found Dio just sitting around lazing in the sun, and Alexander introduced himself. "I am Alexander, the great king." And Dio replies, "I am Diogenes, the dog."
Oh, fuck off. No, he didn't.
It's written down. It has to be true.
This man has just mind-tricked the entire world. Like, Alexander the Great was looking for Diogenes because he wanted to meet him and speak to him about his philosophy. Like, how weird is that?
And so even after, saying to Alexander the Great, "Hello, I am dog," Alexander then offered to grant the philosopher anything he wished, anything at all. You want to guess what he wished for?
A new barrel.
Yeah, dog biscuits or something.
Yeah, some dentist sticks.
He wished that Alexander would move aside because he was blocking the sunlight.
Oh my God.
Wow.
This man, it just sounds like this man is on the spectrum, like to such a degree that he was failed by the science of his time. And everyone watched this man struggle and go, "You are so clever. You're incredible."
Hey, at least
he can't be wrong.
At least people liked him, so he was quite happy just dossing about.
Yeah, I mean that's nice. But hearing his story, it's like this man needed like a lot of help, probably.
Yeah. Right? It does sound like, though, that he was the originator of the "yes, hello, this is dog" meme. So that's something.
Yeah, his greatest achievement. And to end on a final Alexander-related bit, after being told, "Move aside, you're blocking my sunlight," Alexander was just so delighted at getting the chance to meet Dio and his lack of pretension that as he walked away, he remarked to his attendants, "If I had not been Alexander, I would have liked to have been Dio."
No,
wow.
no. Are these all from the memoirs of Diogenes?
Yeah, Diogenes wrote this article.
Yeah, was this written by him? And then the whole bus clapped and they said I was awesome and nobody punched or kicked me.
Yeah.
It was great. You probably, I do wonder, I should have looked up the sources for this, but I feel like at this point, if I did cross-reference a lot of these. I did actually look through different stories because it was like, what? But apparently, there is enough corroboration between these to say that while there's no hard proof that happened, It's a good chance it did. At the very least,
That's
I
so
bet he was
mad,
doing
isn't
his
it?
plops and peas on the streets and
Yeah.
shouting at people.
This poor man.
A lot of weird stuff seemed to happen to all the Greek philosophers. I'm sure one of them, I don't know, it was a Plato or Socrates or I don't know. Well, this may be someone else, but I think was banished to an island towards the end of their life. And then they died because an eagle dropped a tortoise on their head. That might not be the same person who was actually banished to an island, but that's how they were killed. Because the eagles used to eat the tortoise, they would drop it on the rocks to break the shell open. And it was flying along, and it dropped this tortoise, and the tortoise landed on his head and killed him.
Do you think his bald head was a rock? Oh.
Yeah, I think so.
Dangerous times to be a bald man.
What a way to go.
And that is the story of Diogenes. I did have a dig around to see what else he did. Like, I'm sure if I read some like scholarly articles and stuff, I'd find like a lot more stuff of substance. But I'm only here for the dirty stuff he did.
Oh yeah.
There was plenty.
I didn't know about this, man. That was a journey. Thank you, Michael.
It certainly was.
Very well.
Thank you very much.
Before the comments correct me, it was actually Aeschylus, who was a playwright, apparently not a philosopher. But
Very nice. Mikey,
Hello.
is there some sort of shop?
Oh, I think there might be. If you go over to your web browser of choice and type in the magical letters vidiotsofficial.com and click on the lovely tempting little shop button, you will be greeted by a plethora of wonderful Vidiots themed goodies, including sticker sheets, t-shirts, mug, hoodie and hat. Go have a look. We've still got the blobby designed on there. We've still got all the old favourites. Go on, treat yourself. It's soon winter will be. It's winter will be coming soon. So get yourself a hoodie and a little hat so you can keep nice and warm, and some stickers just for fun. Those are just for you.
Go on,
treat yourself. That's
please.
vidiotsofficial.com and click on shop.
YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all.com/Vidiots
Vidiots
Official. The Discord is vidiotsofficial.com/Discord. Thank you to Tommy and Fleckers who mod us over there. Go chat with like-minded listeners and viewers. Go on.
Actually, I do highly recommend going on the Discord now because recently someone in the Discord, their family found a potato that kind of is the same shape as Mr. Blobby. And so they've stuck googly eyes on him, and now they're updating us with they just keep taking the potato out and taking pictures of him in places. So there's a good little adventure brewing in the Discord.
That's happening in
Look at
our
that
Discord.
thing.
That's our
Yeah.
community.
Yeah,
Why has
if
this
you
not hit the tabloids yet?
Yeah, this
that's
seems
the
like
kind
exactly
of thing they write
the-
about.
Whoever's responsible for this, please reach out to all local news websites, because I bet one of those shitty websites would love to have that.
Something to
Yeah.
Metro or
Metro would
someone.
love it.
Yeah,
They would love it, especially if you're taking photos of it out and about.
yeah.
And name drop us in the article as well
Yeah.
when you do it. Go on. Wonderful. Yeah, go check out the Discord. Twitch.tv/Vidiots Official. No live streams planned currently, but we will do one at some point before the end of the year. I'm sure it's an extremely busy time for all of us at the moment, but hopefully we can get something in the books soon, and we expect to see you all there, whenever that is. Don't know when. Podiots.com. If you go there, donate £3 or more, you'll get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the podcast, and join Pod Squad. You'll help us out. You get immortalized on presumably your favorite podcast, because there's no other podcasts on the internet. So that has to be true. There's a bit of Greek philosophy for you, right? Is that? Yeah.
Oh, whoa, he's so intelligent. My God. He's changed the world forever.
What can I say? I'm just going to take a shit right here, and you can't argue with me.
Just can't stop.
Mikey, can you kick us off once again, please?
We do not want your comments. Come mints. It's more funny if you pronounce it. Come mints. The generous Jens Herman. Mum, my cock's stuck in the bidet. Jimmy Grimble football film. So I didn't realise it was... I got distracted by learning about Jimmy Grimble. I didn't realise the name was just Jimmy Grimble football film. That's very to the point. We like it. Tony Hawk's Prostata. Donak07. Freddy Weber. Steven Skodes. Lord Brotovich. Hashtag free Hank the Tank. From Bear Prison. He did nothing.
just tabbed into Discord to read my group out, and I've seen that photo you've posted of the Mr. Blobby. It's very good and very creepy.
It is.
The list continues. Caroline took Ben's bike. Happy anniversary, Dave Matthews band incident. The very generous Cat Karen or Kata Karen. Wayne Waparooney. I'm a Gun Die was real name too. Vidiots degrees when. Stolen Biker Grove. Boppenheimer. And Chippy Waparooney.
Fantastic. And finally, we have it's Bartek's fave boomer show, Young Sheldon D's Nuts. Sorry we don't impress you, Pete. Bucks for Ben's burgled bike. Caroline took Ben's bike. Bear in an otter suit on a bike. Bear in a man suit. Mr. Macca. Luke Skywanker. Dave Benson thick hips. That's with 3 C's, that thick. And Otter arrested for bike theft. And there we have it. That's your Pod Squad. Once again, thank you so much to the Pod Squad this week. Podiots.com, £3 or more to get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the podcast. Peter Austin, what's out on Vidiots 5 years ago this week?
Just adding that blobby to the thread. There we go. Potato blobby. Out on Vidiots 5 years ago, we begin with Who Lives in a Pineapple, which is Vanilla Minecraft episode 11. Podiots episode 12, Milo's Purge. Oh, Bella. Post Some Tat number 25, We've Been Woolified. Time for Your Joy Pills, We Happy Few Time Capsule Unboxing. Worst Games Ever, Crazy Frog Racer. For Duck's Sake, Vanilla Minecraft episode 12. Sliding on Blood, Fairy Tale Fights. Smash That F Button, Worms Revolution. Happy Birthday Owen, which is an unlisted video with...
Happy birthday, Owen.
Happy birthday.
44 views. Goodness me. And 2 comments. How's that happened?
Shit. Wow.
Binging with Babish. 5 tasty recipes for your Switch cartridges. Fantastic. And finally, because this goes out... Oh, no, I'm thinking that's today's date. Post Some Tat number 26, The Ultimate Tat. Vidiots live Twitch stream, We Happy Few / GTA 5. Becoming Beautiful, which was Barbie Makeover Magic Part 1, as I prove it.
Yes.
And Worst Games Ever, B-Movie Game. Indiana Bones, Vanilla Minecraft episode 13. And here we go. 3-headed Oscar winner, You Star 2. That takes us up to release date of this podcast. There you go.
Fantastic. Part of me, I had an idea the other day, and it's not something that I'm ever going to do or any of us are ever going to have the time to do. But I was thinking, how cool would it be if we downloaded every episode we ever did, and then per week that stuff came out, we wrote a script and presented it as if it were just a really long episode of a TV show. Welcome to Vidiots Live. It's Saturday at 9 a.m. It's proper children's TV. How about we hop into a Post Some Tat? And then, it would be...
Just run that.
However many...
Yeah.
And we could cut the actual shows as they went out right down so it's just the best bits, and then they wouldn't take up as much time. And I think that'd be really lovely, but it would also take fucking ages.
Would. Ages.
I just wanted to share that idea. I think it would have been nice in another time if we could do that.
Sorry, just speaking of things that we wouldn't have time to do, you just reminded me, I've got to share this. Okay. My old manager at my old job was in the news recently because...
Oh, yeah.
I'll read the headline here. Parking mad. UK man completes mission to park in every spot at local supermarket.
What? Okay. And who's the UK man?
Gareth, my manager. I've done very quickly. I think it was over a couple of years. 6 years it took him. He had a spreadsheet and everything. He plotted out his local Sainsbury's supermarket, and he said to himself, "I'm going to park in every single spot in this." Supermarket, no matter how long it takes.
I feel like I know this, actually. I'm sure I've seen something about the spreadsheet of the car park that just rung a little bell in my head there. Did we talk about this years ago, maybe? Did you know about this for a long time?
Oh, no, this is last year he did it.
He's completed it now, but I don't know. It's something, maybe I might be thinking of something else, but I feel like...
Oh, wait, maybe we did, actually. No, because it's 2020. Yeah, this is 2021, so maybe we did actually talk about this, and then later on he became my fucking manager. God. Yeah, I do
It only attracts the best, this line of work.
Oh yeah, the real weird ones.
Do you think he'd want to edit that thing that I just described?
I think so, yeah. I think he started a new challenge. I'm not going to spoil it, but I think he could take another bit of work on as well. He likes his long challenges. Yeah, endurance
We'll get him
feats.
involved then.
Yeah,
It wasn't as the Bedminster by any chance, was it?
No, sadly not. I wish, but he's a London boy.
He could make the trip if he was really committed.
Go on, Gareth.
Next one to do. Mikey, where are you on the internet?
At Parrot Boy on Twitter and Instagram. Them's the best places to see me. Go check him out.
Lovely. And Peter, where are we?
You can find me at that Peter Austin on Twitter and Instagram and Threads, and you can find Ben on just Twitter. You're not on Instagram, are you? You're not.
I'm not. No.
At confused_dude, and you can find both of us at Team Triple Jump on Twitter and Facebook, but more importantly on YouTube and Twitch, where we're doing video game related stuff all the time. And Worst Games Ever particularly is one to go and look for.
Nice.
Lovely stuff. Why not leave us a 5-star review on your platform of choice? It helps something to do with Al Gore's rhythms, and it doesn't cost any money, and we'd really appreciate it. So why not go and do that right now? We'll check. We'll fucking check before the next episode. So maybe you should just go do it now, just to be safe. You know, it's like one of those things you used to get back in the day, and I recently discovered are still used today. Those manipulation tactics, which is like the video or share to X many friends or you'll be cursed. They're still doing that.
Your crush will kiss you.
Yeah. You want your crush to kiss you? Leave us a 5-star review on your platform of choice, or you're cursed. So there we are. And your son will die in the Great War.
Yeah, cursed by druids.
Lovely stuff. I think we're all done here. Do we have a final question before we bag it off?
So it's William in the Discord who's looking after the Mr. Blobby Potato. You got any suggestions on where you can take Mr. Blobato? That doesn't sound very good. Mr. Potobby? No, this is all bad.
At my school, we had a little beanie frog called Phileas Frog, as in round the world in 80 days. And if you were going on holiday, you would take Phileas Frog with you. And he went to about 15 different countries. It was a good idea, actually.
That's very cute.
I like that. That's good. Right. Well then, we're done. Thank you for listening / watching. We'll see you in a couple of weeks' time. Keep an eye out on social media for the call for things and the chance to give on the Pod Squad as well. And you look after yourselves. Goodbye, everybody. Bye.
Goodbye.